Everybody, welcome back. We're here for episode 2 of season 2 of Video Game Collectors on Call. And today, I actually have, for the first time ever, I have two guests at one time, which has never happened before on the show. So I want you guys to please welcome Shepard and Brad. How's it going, guys?
Doing pretty good, man.
Doing pretty good.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in. Again, this is the first time we've ever had two of you, and I guess I'll kind of explain why there's two of you. So Brad and Shepard run or work at a game store in town where I live, and we've talked a couple times, and I thought it'd be cool to have them on the show. So again, thanks for coming on. Appreciate you guys being here.
Thanks for having us, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
And Shepard, you're actually currently at the store, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. Very good. So if he's, a little busy or other stuff going on, we'll kind of just ignore that and understand that he's also a working man. So let's kind of start with, when you guys first started playing video games, what do you remember from childhood? What's your first sort of memory of playing games, and what games were those that you played kind of growing up? And Brad, we can start with you.
I played a lot with my mom. She grew up with the original Nintendo system and was really good at Mario Bros. So I grew up playing that with her. I still have her original Nintendo. And before we started, I was just playing the Mario Bros. Duck Hunt with my daughter. So it's hooked up over here on the CRT behind me.
Did you know, so I didn't know this, I found this out when I was like in my 30s, that the second controller can control the ducks while someone else is using the gun?
I've heard that. I've never tried it.
You should try it and let me know. I've heard it too, but I've never tried it either. So,
I don't know
Shepard,
why I
how
haven't
about you?
tried it. I have it hooked up.
Yeah. How about yourself, Shepard?
I started playing way back. I think the first game I ever played was, I want to say it was Mega Man 3. I was visiting my aunt, and she had that hooked up. After that, I was real hard on the Nintendo 64. Played a lot of Glover.
Glover. Okay, I've not heard anyone have an interest in Glover, so I played it.
Look,
I
I had
wasn't a
two
huge...
games. It was Glover and Ocarina of Time.
Okay, so you have like, both ends of the spectrum there. Not a great game and then a really great game, so that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And then when did you guys kind of, I guess, maybe your whole life, you've saved everything, or was there a point where you started to move into more collecting and getting some more rare stuff?
I've always kind of hoarded my toys when I was little. I grew up collecting a lot
Okay.
of Star Wars toys, and they just kind of fixated me on the collectability side of things before I even started collecting video games. I sold off a bunch. I still have a lot from my childhood, and I branched out and collecting different things since then. And have so much stuff, I had to start fine-tuning what I'm collecting, or I'm just going to get too much crap.
Yeah. Definitely
I try to limit
gets
it to
crowded.
favorites and not just, oh, that's cool. So,
Yeah,
because I used to do
exactly.
that all the time.
And Shepard, we talked a little bit before we got started. You don't per se collect games currently, but you do collect something. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was forced into collecting specifically Thor Funkos.
Yeah, that's very specific. So
Yeah,
we can talk about the story behind that another time. But what about Shepard? Do you have a favorite game of all time? Something you've played that just sticks out in your memory as well done, very fun.
I don't know about very fun, but I love the Dark Souls series. I'm a glutton for punishment.
Okay. Does that include like Elden Ring and that, or just are you talking about the originals?
yeah.
Okay.
Any of the Souls likes, I've played them all. The struggle of beating your head against a boss for a week and a half until you finally beat it, the adrenaline dump that you get afterwards is just phenomenal.
Well, you have to make it to that point. So myself, I quit Dark Souls because I was like, I can't even make it past this boss, so I just gave up. But I did play Elden Ring, which I thought was not as difficult. So
Yeah, when I first got into the series, I rented it from Family Video for 2 weeks, played it for 2 days, didn't realize I was going to a mid-game area, returned the game, and then sat for 3 days and went, there has to be more. It can't just be that hard.
yeah, those are some tough games for sure. What about you, Brad? Favorite game of all time?
I'm just going to say Guitar Hero because I've been playing it for 15 years off and on.
Okay.
But if I go to an actual game, oh man, I want to say Red Dead Redemption 2. I spent a month straight on that game, and I just could not stop finding new areas to explore, and it was just so much fun. Then one more, if I want to be nostalgic, Rayman for the PS1. It's one I always go back to and replay.
Is that which Rayman has like the Black Betty song when you're running along?
I think
Is
that's
that
Origins or Legends
okay?
on the 360
Okay.
PS3 era.
That one I
Those
really
were a lot of
liked.
fun. Yeah, I
Yeah.
liked how you could kind of go to the tune of the music. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, for sure. So another thing I like to ask here, not only, what your favorite game of all time is what's the worst game of all time that you've ever played? So if you follow me and watch my streams sometimes, I like to play really terrible games, and there's quite a few good ones that have come up, so I'm always looking for recommendations. So
Shepard, I'm gonna let you go first so I can think on this one.
Sure. So it's not a bad game. I just I was young, didn't know what I was doing, and got stuck on it. It was Metroid Prime for the GameCube. I've never beaten the game.
Oh, okay.
It was a small little cave I had to go into a ball to find, and I spent, I think, a month trying to figure it out. Couldn't find it, gave up on the game. It's been a sore spot in my soul ever since.
Okay, so that's a personal vendetta against that game. That's
Yeah,
not like
mostly.
overall. Most people would not say that's a bad game, I would assume.
No,
But
it's a great game.
Yeah,
Just bad to me.
All right, Brad, have you had time to think?
I've had time, but I've yet to come up with an answer because
He likes all
Yeah.
games. Every game he plays,
I like a
he
lot
loves.
of the games I've played. Oddly
Yeah.
enough, I remember playing a Metroid game and I got stuck. It was for the Super Nintendo, I think Super Metroid.
Super Metroid, yeah.
And it was like maybe last year I tried playing, like I just don't know what to do. I didn't want to search Google and I just got stuck on it. I'm not saying it's a
Okay.
bad game, but it was an
Right,
experience I
right.
had where I'm like,
No,
I'm just going to turn it off.
I mean, the games that I play on stream sometimes are
Uh-huh.
bad games. Superman 64. I don't know
Oh,
if
there
you've
you go.
ever. Yeah, so that one is just like an unfinished game. Essentially, you fall
Yeah.
through the floor. The controls aren't working. It's terrible. So that's kind of what I play. And then another one that I picked up was Largo Winch for the PlayStation that not a lot of people have heard of.
Okay.
I spent about 45 minutes and I couldn't make it out of the very first little room of the game, and I just shut it off. So
I'm sure I could come up with a few if I wasn't on the spot. So I'm struggling right now. I'm struggling.
that's okay. That's okay. What about your favorite console?
Oh, favorite console of all time? I'm just going to say PS1 because the startup sound on that tickles my brain in a way that just hits different than any other console.
It
There's
does.
a lot. That's the game or console I grew up on, and a lot of games are just a special kind of nostalgic to me. I just saw Limited Run is doing a Rugrats release sometime where you can pre-order soon, and Search for Reptar is going to be on that, and I'm really excited for it. So there's
They
a lot
did-
of weird games like that where I like playing them over and over.
Yeah, they did an NES Rugrats game, I think, release. Was that Limited Run? And
I
there was
believe they
some
did.
there was a controversy with it. Someone was telling me how it would basically break your NES if you played it on there.
Yes, I heard that. It's a voltage issue where it draws a certain amount of power that is not how the console's meant to be run, and it can if you do it too much, it can hurt the console over time. And they
Yeah.
had to re-release that game with the
Yeah.
correct voltage, is what I
Yeah.
understand.
So, since that's your favorite console, I assume you collect PS1. What other consoles do you collect for, whether that's handheld or console?
Okay, so probably the ones I have the most for would be PlayStation 2, original Xbox, PS1, and Xbox 360. They're not the only consoles I collect for, but they're probably the ones I have the most games for, and I just kind of cherry pick some of my favorites, ones that stand out, some that are unique, without just going all in. I'm like trying to get every game I can.
Yeah, I think the PS2 has about 1,700 games or something.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. So there's a lot.
Yeah, and I probably have 15 games for it. So there's just some real. I got one right
Nice.
here. I was trying to choose from the side. It's one of the nicer ones in my PS2 collection. I don't have anything crazy like Rule of Rose, but Manhunt 2.
Yeah.
I was lucky to get this for like $10 a few years ago, and it just kept going up since then.
Is
Manhunt
that
2.
is that kind of like, I've not played Manhunt. Is that similar to Hitman or what's tell me the game?
So it's made by Rockstar back when they actually
Yeah.
used to make a variety of games.
Yeah,
Um,
now they just do GTA and delay it every couple months.
To be honest, I've only played the first one. I haven't actually played the second one. I got it with intentions to play it. It just got in the backlog, and I never caught up to it. But it's kind of like a serial killer game, is the best way to
Okay.
describe it. There's just a variety of ways to kill people, and that's not really the point of the game necessarily, but that's the easiest way to kind of describe it.
Okay.
I remember, I don't know how graphic I can get on here.
Yeah,
I won't get
yeah,
too
just-
graphic.
yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
just-
one of the kills early on, you can like suffocate people with a trash bag.
Okay.
So it gets pretty brutal. So
Gotcha. Okay.
There's a lot of controversies with it, and I think that's why they kind of killed it.
Okay. So I'll just comment right now too and say that we haven't seen or heard from Shepard in a minute because I assume he's tending to things in the store. So if you're watching this and you're like, "What the heck happened to Shepard?" He's
Hopefully
like I said,
some sales
he's
are happening.
exactly, yeah. Hopefully he's making some sales is what's going on. Let's touch on that a little bit too. So the store.
Hmm.
So when did this start? When did you get the idea? How did it all come to be?
I've probably wanted to open a store for over a decade, and then everybody has that dream, and it just kind of falls, and you don't really think about it too much, other than that'd be cool. Shepard and I have worked together in many different jobs, and one of them we used to do door-to-door roof sales, and we'd have to drive around and look for roofs that needed repaired, and we'd talk to the owners. But anyway, a lot of there's a lot of driving involved, and we just sit there and chat, and we sparked up the conversation of what would it be like to open a game store. Um, and that's actually when we came up with the name, the Co-op Shop, which obviously is for co-op video game play, the Co-op Shop. And then we just talked about it and how cool it'd be to open that someday. And then that kind of got set aside, and we worked a couple more jobs together. And at one point, we just decided to take it a little more seriously, started putting some money back to eventually work toward it. And it took a few years, but I eventually got to the point where I was able to fully open it. And that was 10 months ago, so it's been really picking up. We shared a space with another store for a while, which allowed us to give us our jump start, so we couldn't have done that without Rainer's Pokestop. The Rainer's TCG now, they do Pokemon cards. Um, and then a few months back, we're able to actually move into our own location that's truly our own. So now we got the Co-op Shop on Sagamore Parkway in Lafayette.
Is it stressful owning a game shop?
There's moments that's stressful because it's just so new. I've never done anything like it before, and just having all the things to keep up with. Like, there's a lot of things that aren't as bad as I thought they'd be, but there's just almost like overthinking it makes it worse than it really is, to be honest. Um, there's I'm trying to think of ways to say it without just blurting out a bunch of information. Just keeping track of taxes. It's not fun. It's
Yeah,
tedious.
yeah,
We just had people from the city come yesterday and it's like, hey, you didn't do this. It's like, I didn't realize that was a step, but they're really cool about it and they just had us a way to get caught up on it. So
gotcha.
there's a lot of lines to cross and, make sure you're doing it the right way. And sometimes you just might miss a step, but as long
Yeah,
as you're just staying on top of it, it's not too bad. It's
that's
also a
fair.
lot of fun and it's as much as there is to do and as much stress as there is, it's still less stressful to me than just going to a job I don't enjoy.
But yeah,
So
absolutely. Definitely
it
want to
makes
do
a big
something
difference.
you love doing. Yeah,
Yeah, because
absolutely.
the day goes so fast. I'm like, I don't want to go home yet. I'm still wanting to do stuff here at my store.
Yeah. One thing I always wonder when I go into a game store, and I'll tell you, I wonder it in some stores more than others because of what the prices are. But where do you determine what your price is for a certain game? How do you find that out? Or if that's a secret, you can say, it's like the KFC recipe and it's locked in a vault somewhere. But
Sure. We try to be as high as possible to make as much money as possible. No, I'm kidding. We try to be as fair as we can be. A lot of numbers. I don't have a surefire way to come up with it. I'm really just trying to go off condition, what I think's fair, what I see it selling at consistently. I'll do a mix of price charting and eBay solds. It varies item by item because sometimes price charting is just outrageously incorrect.
mhm,
Some really hard to find items or obscure items, or you might be able to find it on price charting, but might have one or two eBay listings, and the numbers
yeah,
just wacky. So you got to dig through eBay solds, and I try to find as many comparable conditions of that same item. Like, is it a special edition console, and is it missing a controller? So I'm going to try to find that same console without the original controller in a similar condition, so I can be as fair as I can be on that price, and try to
mhm,
come up with an average. Sometimes I'll find the average, maybe I'll be $10, $15 above that because I'm also offering a 30-day guarantee, all that kind of stuff. I want it to be in my store. I don't want to, I want to make money on it. I don't want to sell so quick that people don't get a chance to see it.
yeah,
Um, so I'm trying to be fair, and I try to do a lot of research on most items. If it's, let's say, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 for the Xbox 360, price charting is going to give me a pretty fair estimate on that, and I'll probably just round it down a dollar or two because it's a common game.
mhm,
Hopefully that answers that price question pretty well. But yeah, it's a
yeah,
mix of eBay
yeah.
solds and price charting is the best two I've come up with, and I just try to find a fair average that's consistent. And a lot of people say, "Oh, this is really low. I see it higher everywhere else." I'm like, "That's what people are buying it at. I'm not trying to go $100 over what I'm seeing people buy it at."
Yeah, one thing I find when I ask people that question, or a few people, is when
Hmm.
they're using prices, especially off eBay, they're saying, well, it's listed at this. And,
Right.
just because it's listed doesn't mean it's sold at that price, right? And so,
Exactly. Listings
um,
get pretty crazy. You got to make sure, hey,
yeah,
this actually sold.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
a Super Mario Brothers in box on eBay for listed for $10,000, right? But who's going to
Right.
pay that, right? So if we went off that, idea, then all these games would be more expensive than they should be.
Yeah.
What in regards to that, what do you think of, or what are your thoughts on graded games, and if you have any opinions about that?
Graded games. Excuse me, I had to burp.
That's okay.
So I think they're cool. I like it more so on retro games because that way it can kind of preserve it if it's a rare game and you want the condition to be nice. Like Sculptor's Cut, for example. That would be a game I think would be cool to grade because it's notoriously not that exciting of a game, but it's really hard to find and you don't want it to just get beat up over time. But if somebody's got like a really pristine copy of, let's go back to Modern Warfare 3 for the 360, like that just seems kind of silly to me.
Yeah.
So it depends on the game to me. I've never had any in the store. I'm not against it, but also I may or may not shy away from it depending on the game title.
Hmm.
I feel like that can be hard to gauge a price for on the market and might see less of those selling online. So I don't want to just throw money at everything that comes through the door and just have a bunch of stuff in the store it's not going to move. But I
Yeah,
think it's a
and
neat thing. Like, it's collectible. I really like collecting. Everybody's got their own niche, and some people really like that.
in regards to that, are there things like that come in the store? People are like, hey, I want to sell you this, and you're like, no, I'm not going to buy that because it just sits on the shelf for too long, or maybe it's not sellable.
Yeah, we take a lot of stuff, but some stuff I genuinely just keep saying no to is VR headsets. There's a market for it, and a lot of game stores in town sell them, but they're hard to test, and a lot of times, they've been resting on people's face and sweat and stuff, and they usually are kind of dirty. I've only had a couple come through that I've actually taken, but more often than not, it's just not something I really care to have in the store.
Yeah.
And then off connects for the 360 or the Xbox One, I usually say no thanks, we got plenty. Wii Fits. The ones we do have, it's because people say, well, I'm just going to throw it away. Do you want it? And I'll say, sure, I'll see what I can do with it.
Yeah.
So more often than not, it's just stuff like that. I'd say the VR is the one that actually holds value that I shy away from just because it's just a little tougher for me.
So you mentioned Connect, and
Hmm.
I don't think we've talked about that on my show ever, but I remember when that was supposed to be like the next big thing, right? Like you're
Yeah.
playing games with no controller, and
Hmm.
it turns out people who play games don't really want to exercise. They just want to
That's
play
true.
games, right? So
That's
I
true.
think it kind of flopped a little bit, but I remember playing a couple of games on Connect. Did you play any of the Connect games?
I did. I'm gonna try to move my camera. I got the R2D2 Edition 360 over there. I got that the day it released. I got the day off work randomly. I worked at a factory, and they said, "Do you want the day off? This is your rotation to go home because we don't need as many people today." So I went straight to Best Buy, got that on launch day. It came with the Kinect version of the Star Wars game, and I remember there was the dancing game in there where you
Hmm.
played I'm Han Solo and you danced to a Han Solo song, which was a meme version of I'm riding solo. And then there
Okay.
was also the Rancor destruction level, which was really cool. So that was about the only Connect game I enjoyed was some of the
Okay.
Star Wars stuff, but quickly I lost interest in it. Fun story, I do remember watching Netflix late at night, and then I almost thought my apartment was haunted at the time because I'd be laying there on the couch with my hands under the blanket, all cuddled up, and then the show would pause itself, and the hand would start moving across the screen like it was picking up a hand sensor, and I was
Oh wow.
alone in the house. So that happened
Yeah.
a few different times, and it was kind of weird.
Those are pretty sensitive. I remember Connect
Yeah.
Adventures, I think, was like the game that came with Connect,
Yes, yes, because I think
where you're
that also came with it.
yeah, where you're like on the
Mhm.
raft and you're like going through the little rapids and stuff, moving left and right. I do remember
Yeah,
that game.
it was a neat party game. It was more fun because it was such a new experience at the time, but I lost interest in it pretty fast, not gonna lie.
What is a game or an accessory or a console or something that if money wasn't an option that you would want? Like you'd say, "Yep, I'm getting that."
Sure, good question.
That's
Said
why I host. That's
could
why I'm
be a
the
game
host.
also.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, a game, an accessory, a console, anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably get one of the newest VR things just to try it out. Because if I didn't care about what kind of money I was spending, then it'd be something neat to try. I've had it
Yeah.
before, I didn't do a lot with it, but the new stuff looks kind of cool, but at the same time, I'm not that excited about it. If money wasn't an option, I'd probably just start collecting some obscure horror games like Quan for the PS2 or Rule of Rose, that kind of stuff, just to
Kuon
have it.
is yeah, Kuon is
Yeah.
I've heard not a very good game, honestly.
Yeah,
even though it's like $2,000 for a complete in box copy. So
I think they just stopped producing it because it wasn't selling well. Now it's rare.
yeah, exactly. That's what a
Yeah,
lot of the like Little Samson and a lot of those games are very just underproduced. So
yeah,
do you have? I think we talked earlier. Do you have some stuff that you grabbed that to show off like some of your favorite stuff in your personal collection before we get
sure.
to talking about the store and stuff?
Yeah, I showed you Manhunt 2 already. I also have a pristine copy of Futurama for the Xbox.
Have you played it?
Just the first mission. It's not that good.
That's what. Okay, that's what I was going to ask
Yeah.
you. So I liked it. I played through the whole thing. I beat it. I played it on PS2 though, and a lot of my friends had said it's not very good, but I don't
It's
know.
the
I kind of
camera
enjoyed
angles
it.
that really
Yeah,
made me
that's
not want
true.
to keep playing it more than anything. And
Yeah.
I've watched all the episodes of Futurama, so I enjoy the show, but the game really didn't catch my attention.
Okay.
And of course, it was modern play, so it was hard to get back into something with controls like that for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Outside of gaming, though, I do collect some figures. Since Maul is on Disney Plus currently, I got my Clone Wars Maul figure from Sideshow to show off. And I gave him the Darksaber from a Moff Gideon figure I have.
Okay.
So they're 12-inch tall, really high detailed figures. I
So
think they're really cool.
so I was actually really excited when I heard there was going to be a new Darth Maul show
Uh-huh.
coming out, and I thought it was going to be live action. I was like, that's going to be
Oh,
sweet.
that would have been cool.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still cool, but it would be way cooler if it was live action, you know.
Yes.
So
Since we're on it, I got two more things I'll show you, then we can go to
perfect.
the next thing, or let Shepard talk for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm collecting all of the Small Soldiers figures. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Small Soldiers.
I have, and I have the game for PS1.
Dude,
Did you
that's
know
one of my
there's?
favorite games.
Yeah,
It's
is
so
it?
good. Yeah,
Okay.
for PS1.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
But there's a guy in, I want to say, China who makes these to scale, and they're the most accurate prop replicas you can get without being licensed. But they
Okay.
look like they're pulled from the movie. They're so cool. They're articulate. Um,
Are you sure
sorry,
that's
I'm trying
not
to
what was activating your Connect when you were sleeping one night? It was one of your
It
small
probably would have
soldiers.
been if I had
Yeah,
these
yeah,
back then.
yeah.
I'm only missing 3 right now. They're on the way in the mail, but I almost have the whole set. And then lastly, since it's next to me, I also, one of my last Lego builds I did,
Yeah, and I'll take this moment to say Shepard is back, so we'll get to him just in a second. So
I did the Black Pearl. I was
very
excited
nice.
they did the big one for Lego.
Yeah, that is very nice.
So I got a bunch of random stuff I like to collect, but I try not to overdo it in one category. I just get favorites from a bunch of little categories.
You know, collecting is very expensive of a hobby, which I didn't collecting anything honestly, but especially retro games. They're just the prices continue to go up, and I meet some people who have like 3,000 games, and I'm like, how did you afford all those games? Well, they have had them since they were like 12, 13 years old, and so
Yeah.
they spent maybe $10 on them back then, and now they're worth like hundreds of dollars. Shepard, how's it going, man? Long time no see. Good to see you back. Is he there? Shepard, are
He
you there?
throws-
Yeah, he's there. So, Shepard, I've been asking a lot of questions to Brad. You're working at the store. Show me some cool stuff in the store if you're able to.
Sure.
So, we're gonna go mobile, and there's a thing. If you've watched any of my episodes, we have this club of people who stand up during the show. So Shepard is now a member of the Standing Up Club.
I just
So-
did it too. I did it for the Black Pearl.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You did. Okay, you're right. Okay, so yeah.
Some of the cool stuff, I mean, we got, I don't know how in frame it is. I
What do
got
we
the Days of Play PlayStation up there.
Okay, tell me about that PlayStation. I'm not familiar with it, or one of you can, whoever.
Go ahead, Chip.
Yeah, honestly, it's a really unique blue color. I know that they did it as like some sort of a celebration or like an anniversary edition.
Okay.
It's just in a super unique blue. It's got the gold sprawling all over it. The only one that I like better is it the 2 million or the 5 million,
200
whatever.
million or
Yeah.
hundreds of millions copies sold edition.
It's a translucent purple. You can see all the electronics underneath. It's cool.
And there was only one of how many million you said that were made?
That one they made, I want to
They
say
released it
100,000.
because of celebrating millions of PlayStation 4s sold, but they only made a
Oh,
few thousand of them or something.
okay.
I mean, I don't know if you've shown the pictures. We also got.
No, we haven't shown anything. This is all. So yeah, the GameCube there. The glare makes it a little difficult to see. But
I
then
don't know if
there's
the glare
the
fix is stepping back.
yeah.
How excited
then-
would you be to get the step stool and get that down for a close up? That thing's awesome.
I can get him down.
That'd be
Oh
cool.
boy, we've never had anyone injured on the podcast before, so
Now's your time
I'm
to
going
shine,
for
bud.
it first.
yeah. But yeah, while he's doing that, do you have Brad? Do you have a favorite video game character of all time?
Ooh, favorite game character of all time?
Yeah.
Without thinking too hard, I'm going to go to
Yeah.
Gex. I think he's hilarious
That's
and a lot of fun.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
I go with Crash Bandicoot is who I usually
Good
choose.
choice. Nice.
So I remember the commercials, like maybe back in the '90s, early 2000s, where he was standing like outside of Nintendo headquarters with his megaphone and stuff. So that was a lot of fun
Heck
to
yeah,
watch
that's
those
awesome.
commercials. So, and then is there a game series that you like? I know we've talked about various games. So for me, my favorite game series of all time is Resident Evil.
Ooh, I've been hooked on Resident Evil lately. Last night, I just beat the PS5 version of Biohazard. It was my second
Okay.
playthrough of the game, but it's the gold edition, so I'm going to go through and do all the DLC for it and stuff. But
Okay.
Assassin's Creed is one of my favorites. I pre-ordered the collector's edition of Black Flag Resynced. I can't wait for that to come out.
Okay,
And I'm
I
branded
got him down.
with
I
the
didn't die.
Assassins.
nice. You're good. All right, Shepard is alive and well.
Yeah.
So that's the Pikachu Nintendo 64, right? So that I think his foot is the button or something on that. Is that right?
Power
or-
button,
or-
I believe, is the Pokeball, and I think that's the
Pokeball.
reset button. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And then we were talking about this earlier. There, I think there were two different ones, right? Was there a blue one that you have there, and I think there was another one, but I don't remember the color.
There
of
is
it.
an orange one.
Orange one. Yep. That is correct.
There's three
Okay.
color variants. There's a lighter blue and there's an orange. They're both region exclusives. And
Okay.
there's another bundle edition of this one that's Toys R Us exclusive that came with the Pikachu game accessories also.
Okay. And then the GameCube is sitting there next to it, correct?
Yep.
So I'll be honest, I never got into Pokemon. I know it's like real big. Is that something that's popular in your store too? That people come in and they just want to buy Pokemon games all the time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a space dedicated just for all of the old school Pokemon games, all the way up to the 3DS.
You should show it
Uh-huh,
off,
yeah.
Shepard.
Yeah, the donut case.
We have a decent
Yeah.
selection right now.
Let's move closer to the saw noise. That would just be
There you go.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Share the headache we get every day.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately there, correct me if I'm wrong, the place next to you is remodeling and someone else is moving in for a new spot, and so they're doing some sawing, drilling, hammering, all the above.
Yes, fun story. They started their process before us and we're already done.
Wow. So there's the Pokemon, which, okay, again, I'm not a big Pokemon person. Which of the games is the most rare or the most expensive? Is it I hear a lot about Emerald. Is that one more
As far as
rare?
handhelds go, I'd say Emerald. What do you think, Shep?
Emerald is definitely going up in value.
'Cause that one's usually 250-ish when we have it, if not a little more. And we always
Yeah,
replace
and
the batteries.
typically it's also the most faked.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's probably the
Now-
one we've seen the most fake copies of.
Now, having been at your store, I know kind of what you have in it, and I think you know what I'd like to see next, Shepard. And let's see if you can guess.
You think he's right next to it?
Sewing machine?
Yeah. Yes.
Which one?
Yes. Not just any sewing
Back
machine.
towards the
Yeah.
noise.
Yeah. So this is a sewing machine that was made for so they have two. So there's this one here is the complete in box version, and then that's what it would look like if you took it all out of the box, essentially. And that cartridge down there goes in the Game Boy to, as I understand it, has patterns and things where the sewing machine will basically make these patterns for you and do it based off the Game Boy running the code or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
the
this was
system
reduced.
has a built-in link cable on the sewing machine, so it's made and designed specifically for the Game Boy.
Yeah, so it was made by Singer, and they partnered with Nintendo, I believe, to make this. It was an anniversary, I believe, of I want to say it was like 20th or 30th, some sort of anniversary. I think they did it for.
Possibly. I wish I knew more
Yeah,
about
something
it.
like that.
Yeah, and so the other thing I know you guys have, other than games that you're selling, is games that people can come in and play, right?
Yeah. We
Yeah.
have the arcade wall.
Yeah. So there's a pinball there, right?
We have a
That's
And we
Ninja
a
should
Turtles pinball
actually
coming
be getting
soon.
another one of these.
Oh, I have wanted a Ninja Turtles pinball. That is a good one. And then explain to me what was playing over here on the Nintendo kiosk the other day.
Clone Hero. This is
Clone Hero.
Guitar Hero, essentially.
Uh-huh. Okay. Guitar Hero with more songs, I imagine.
We
More
have about
more
10,000
options.
songs on it.
Okay. And you mentioned you were a big Guitar Hero guy. Do you have a favorite Guitar Hero song, like what your go-to?
Oh, go to.
Yeah.
If I want to just say Clone Hero, I play We Got the Moves by Eskimo Callboy a lot. I
Okay.
just think it's funny and it's got a good beat and it's fun to play. If we're going classic Guitar Hero, I'd probably go toward Guitar Hero Metallica and King Nothing.
Okay.
That's a fun one.
And have you ever been in any like competitions or anything for that? Are you a self-proclaimed Guitar Hero expert, or is there any like championships that you've won?
I've never been to a tournament somebody else has hosted. I've hosted one tournament and I did very well. I did lost to guitar failure. I don't want to
Of
just say
course,
that
yeah.
and
Guitar failure, yeah.
say, hey, oh no. It was the same week the CRKDs came out, and they had to release a patch to update the guitar. If you got into too heavy of a solo, the buttons would just stop registering the clicks, so it was kind of
Okay.
a bummer. So I did lose, and I didn't complain during the tournament, but I was a little flustered, so that kind of bummed me
Okay.
out. But no, it's a lot of fun. I'm really good at the game. I'm not one of the best. I cannot 5-star through the Fire and Flames, but I can 4-star.
Okay.
I'm above average. It's a lot
What
of fun.
about Rock Band? Do you have any love for that game, or it's strictly just Guitar Hero?
Rock Band 2 and 3 are very good. They're really good party games. So if you're trying to get a group of friends together, I feel like they have a better song selection and the way they're able to connect all the Rock Band games. If you were able to import your other Rock Band games into one back in the day, because Rock Band 3 specifically, you could export Rock Band 1 songs to it, export Rock Band 2 songs to it, and then all the extra games they had, like Green Day, Lego Rock Band. If you got those games new and they came with codes and you didn't let them expire, you can basically get them all to one game and have a huge track list, and it made a really cool party game.
Hmm.
But I hated the way their notes were set up, and I was not nearly as good at Rock Band as I was at Guitar Hero.
Okay. And you have a few more expensive or rare titles on NES too, I believe, in the front in the case, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we just recently got them too.
Hmm. Was this traded in by one individual, the same person, or
Nope, two separate.
two separate? Okay. And I don't recall. I think one is it Cowboy Kid is the name of it, or Cowboy something.
Yep, Cowboy Kid.
Cowboy Kid. Yep. So I have never played that. I've never even heard of it until I saw that you guys had it. Have either of you? Did you guys? So let's say a game like that comes in. Let's say it's really rare, it's really expensive, and you've never played it, or you're like, well, let me just plug it in so I can say I've played it. Do you guys play these games?
No, didn't
No.
play it. We fire it up, make sure it works. We actually pop the cartridges open. We make sure they're authentic.
Okay.
But no, didn't go out of our way to just actually play a level or anything, unfortunately. But
Okay.
you asked me how we price games earlier. That one was hard to price. Price Charting had that one's average at about 400, and then eBay had sold consistently in the 600 to 700 range. And there was
Okay.
also a bunch of the same sellers selling the same game at $50, which I believe was affecting Price Charting's average. So
Hmm.
that one was hard for me to price, but I tried to gauge it based on condition. We landed at 600 for it.
Okay. And you guys.
Yeah, sadly, some people, when it comes to more expensive titles, they will fabricate sales to manipulate the market, either to
Yeah.
bring it down if they're trying to buy something or to jack it up if they're trying to sell it.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. So that's why sometimes I'll see, something sells for 600, 650, 600, and all of a sudden $25, and the reason is what you're saying. Do they just sell it to a friend or something, and is that
Yeah,
kind of what you think is happening?
possibly, or they'll just sell it to themselves and then cancel the transaction and relist it. Because that one in
Mm,
particular, I think there are 7 listings in a row is the identical picture. They didn't even change the picture, and it was just the same one sold at the same price over and over.
so that's good to know. Like that's something that I never even thought about or never even looked into. So if people who are collecting, if you're watching this, you might not know that either.
Yeah,
So good
because it makes it
information
really
for
hard because
collectors.
price charting is such a great tool. almost to a fault where there's a lot of people that won't buy something if a game's priced over price starting, but
Yeah.
they don't consider the factors of it's an average. A lot of
Yeah.
things that go into price charting, something might have sold at a lower price, but it may have also not had a sticker label on it, or the cartridge might have had a crack in it,
Right.
or it's heavily condition based. So
And
something on the higher
sometimes
end
it
may
is
have been
also
spotless.
skewed. They might be selling the game loose, but it was sold with a bundle of something else. So you might see a $25 game going for like $80 or $90 because it was sold in a bundle with 6 or 7 other things.
Yeah.
So at your guys' store, you also repair consoles. Is that correct?
To a point.
To a point. Explain.
Yeah, we tried to
Yeah.
do more of that for ourselves. We have such a backlog of things. We'll buy defective items and we'll try to fix them. It gives us access to more inventory once it's repaired because there's a lot of stores that won't do that. So they'll only buy stuff if it's ready, shelf ready, basically. Since we're willing to buy something at a lesser cost that's really dirty or defective in some way, we can use it for parts or repair it, and then we'll clean it up. And then once we're confident it's working fine, now we have more inventory we can offer. It gets more items in our store and ready back for the community and gives it a second life. But
Okay.
as far as offering repairs to the public, we don't do anything invasive. We can resurface discs, we can replace batteries in Game Boy games, we can switch out a 72-pin connector in NES. We do some of the simpler stuff that won't take a lot of time.
Okay, I got you. Shepard, I'm going to turn to you and ask you a few questions now.
Sure.
Since I was spending a lot of time talking to Brad, so we talked. I'll ask some of the same questions I asked him actually. So, do you have a favorite video game character of all time?
Oh, favorite video game character.
Yeah, lots to choose from, man.
There is.
Yeah.
I was not expecting this. I was busy
Wow.
helping.
You weren't expecting on a video game podcast to be asked about video games. Yeah, that's okay. I understand. So,
No, I've
like
not played
Lara
a lot
Croft or Crash Bandicoot, Mario. It's just there's Thor. He's in
Yeah,
games,
Thor.
so that could be.
Honestly, I'd say probably Luigi. I really like the Luigi's Mansions games.
Do you have an older
He
brother by
resonates with me.
chance? Do you have an older brother? Yeah, I knew
I'm
it.
the younger brother.
Yep. So you had to be Luigi all the time, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Usually
that
player
makes sense.
2.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or I'd say Dom from Gears of War. I never played the Gears of Wars after they killed me off.
Okay. All right. Very good.
A spoiler warning for anybody that hasn't played that.
How dare you?
Everyone knows there's spoilers on this, so that's fine. That's fine. And then I can't remember. Did I ask you what your favorite console was of all time, Shepard?
Favorite console? Personally, I'm part of the PC Master Race.
Okay.
So I don't have a lot of the older consoles. Ones I had, I either donated to the store or my brother jacked them.
Okay. And then do you have a favorite game series like, Resident Evil, Final Fantasy, something like that? Zelda,
Definitely still the Dark Souls series.
Dark Souls. That makes sense.
Yeah,
And then
Pain
the
and
other
Suffering.
the other thing we talked about while you were absent was graded games. So what do you think? Do you have an opinion on graded games?
Yeah, I had my headphone in during that question, so I heard a little bit
Okay.
of what Brad was saying.
Yeah.
I'm of the same belief. If it's a rare game, if it's something that you want to keep in good condition, you have it in phenomenal condition, by all means, get it graded. But when you have, the everyday titles, the Arkham Knights, the Call of Duties, there's no sense in doing it unless it's just personal preference. There's 50,000 of those games, and to me, I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of older titles that if you have one, by all means.
Yeah, no, that this definitely makes sense. So now I want to. This is for both of you. Now we'll kind of spread back out to asking you both. What's the rarest thing that's come through the store, if you can remember? I know you've been 10 months or so. You've been in business. What's the rarest thing? And it may be something that's there now, or it may not be.
The Pikachu 64 we have currently is one of them. The sewing machine that we've had
Yep.
for a while, unfortunately. It's definitely going to have to find the right collector. And then before the store was opened, Shepard brings this game up a lot for good reason. It was a complete in box Mega Man X3 for the SNES.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that was a year ago, a couple months before we opened the store, and I think we sold it for 1,500. I could just imagine it went up since then.
Yeah, it was very clean. We got it from a local collector. He sold us how many Mega Mans? I think that there was like 5 of them that we got that day from him.
He had almost every Mega Man game there was for cartridge-based titles. And a handful of them, Mega Man's 1 through maybe 2 through 6 were complete in box, and then a couple for the SNES were complete in box, and then one for the Nintendo 64 is complete in box.
Okay.
It was definitely the biggest purchase. Probably one of the biggest purchases we've ever made, even with the store being open. I don't know if we've topped that one since, or maybe just barely.
We've probably gotten close with the 64 purchase.
Possibly.
Okay. So we talked a lot about single player games. It seems like when we talked about what your guys' favorite games is. Do you guys have any multiplayer games that you like to play, or is there one that's your favorite? And you can say a PC game, Shepard, if you want. That's completely fine.
It's on other consoles.
Oh, okay.
I'm personally a big fan of the Monster Hunter series.
Okay, the guy I just had on last episode, big Monster Hunter fan as well. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I got a few buddies that I play it with. One of them's really good. The other guy's a burden, but we drag him along. He's got fun personality sometimes.
Is it Leroy Jenkins?
No, he just he always finds his way to playing the most technical, hardest class possible.
Okay.
And it always seems to be just right below subpar.
He likes a challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, they call to him. And then you
Yeah.
got to somehow figure out how to do everything and keep him alive.
How about you, Brad?
I'd have to say like old school LAN party Halo for like Halo 2.
Okay.
Something a little newer, Black Ops 3 specifically. My wife and I will split screen that one and just do zombies on it. That's one of our favorite zombies.
Yeah.
Or
Back
if I
in the
do,
day- back in the
like Guitar Hero.
Yeah, back in the day, I remember, it's a lot different for kids now with split screen. Like when we had split screen, you could cheat, right? Someone could be screen looking and just like see where you're at, and now it's like all online, so it's so much different. Another thing too is, being that you host or you own a video game store, a lot of media is going digital. So do you worry about the future of games, or do you see that that's something that people are going to continue to collect and it's not going to be an issue?
I know it's never going to go away, so I do believe the industry will still be strong for collectors and retro. I could see newer titles getting away from releasing a handful of games in physical form, because I've already seen some games where they release digital before they release physical. And I think eventually we might get less and less new physical titles, potentially. But I don't think there's going to be a loss of interest for owning the physical media for what already exists.
Yeah, I think it's easier as a consumer to. It's like when Amazon came about, right? Now you don't even have to go to Walmart. You can just buy something on Amazon, stay at home, it gets shipped to you. So I think about the same thing. For example, I buy any new game I buy, if it's for Xbox One, I buy it on digital and I don't even get a hard copy of it. And it's just easier because I can set it up so it installs overnight, and then I can wake up that morning, it's already installed at midnight, and I can play it. I don't have to go to the Walmart, stand in line, do whatever, and I'm ready to go. So do you have any thoughts on that?
You could just get a game and play it the same night you got it?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't have to download the day one patch because it still wasn't complete when it was released.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or read the instruction booklet on the way home in the car. That was a lot of fun too.
Yeah. We got thoughts on that. I definitely understand the ease of use for it. I've definitely bought some digital games. Anymore, usually if it's digital only as an option, I'll buy it. Like the Rayman Anniversary Edition. I have the physical pre-ordered, and I'm waiting for that to come, but I really wanted to play it, so I got the digital version also. Alan Wake 2, I could not wait to play that game, so I played it digitally, and then I got the limited run collector's box set, and I played it again.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people's arguments are your physical copy is just a key code to play the same game, so why bother buying it physical? And I always say, well, if you're not going to play that game more than once, at least if you own a physical copy of it, you can resell and get some value back out of that. If it's only a keycard copy, it still has value because you're holding it. You can't do that with digital.
I will add two things to that. The first being that I think that kids today, it's you can't like let a friend borrow a game, right? That was really common for me. We would trade games and be like, "Oh, here's GoldenEye, and I'll take Smash Brothers, and then we'll trade them back in a week." So that doesn't exist anymore, and I think that's bad. Like I really feel bad about that not existing. And the second thing too is like, like look at my shelf behind me. So people have bookshelves, right? Of books, right? And they read them like one time and then put it on the shelf. So if your argument is that the games just sit on the shelf, then then I feel like my argument is the same for books, right? So it's a bookshelf. It's like my own library of games, and I think it's cool to have them sit on a shelf like that.
Can I interrupt you real quick?
Absolutely, anytime.
I saw one of your posts. Do you own the Resident Evil chainsaw controller?
I do.
Can I see it?
And you haven't brought it into the store? How dare you?
I'm not selling it.
I
So
didn't
this-
Can you bring it in just for show and tell someday? I'd like to hold it.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yes. So big
I
fan
wanna
of.
at
I
least say
have
I've
like
held
every
one
Resident
person.
Evil game
That's super
that
cool.
probably has ever existed. So
That's awesome.
oh, hold on. There we go. We lost a
cut out
little
for
bit
us
of
for a
connection.
second.
Yep. No, I was saying that I have every Resident Evil game that has ever existed. So I've got like the Resident Evil Essentials here, which has the 3-pack as well as the individual ones. And then I did post the. Hold on. This is the first time I will ever get up. So hold on.
Ooh, a lot of firsts on this stream.
Yeah, we're setting records.
I posted this the other day, which is the
I saw that one
GameStop
too.
exclusive tin, which is
That's
really
sick.
cool. So yeah, give me 1 second. I'll show you a couple other things. So I gotta go over here. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
One.
Tell a joke or something. I don't know. Entertain the crowd.
Hey, Shepard. You're the
Yeah.
joke.
Damn.
They just got you.
And then these are all going to be sealed. This is Resident Evil 2 that's sealed.
Oh, see that now that's
Okay.
something you could grade, and it would be like, okay, that makes sense.
I'm not grading it. Nope.
That's
no
fair.
thanks. Yep.
But
Then
that's an
these are-
example of something that would be acceptable.
Code Veronica is sealed. Resident Evil 3 is sealed. And
That's
then
cool, man.
this is a long box Resident Evil that's like
Oh,
in
I
super
love the
good
long
condition.
boxes. Nice.
So
I have two long boxes. I have Doom and I have Gex.
that's the only long box I have. It's the only one that I want to
That's
have.
awesome.
So it's like,
Yeah, the only other one I would want is Rayman.
And then I have one more thing I'll show you guys that's kind of cool.
Okay.
Man, he's getting up a lot.
See, we asked him something. He's excited.
Yeah. No one ever asked me anything. Okay, actually, I brought two things. So
Okay.
this
It's one too
this
many.
this is the most expensive thing in my collection, probably. This is Siphon Filter 3, but this cover is not doesn't exist anymore. So what happened was 9/11 happened. This cover was released, and they took it off the market because they said we can't release this with terrorism going on. So these were never sold in store. If you look up Siphon Filter 3, you're going to see a different cover on the game, and a lot of them had a hole punch in the UPC. This one does not have a hole punch, so this is even more rare than the ones that had a hole punch. So this I bought it graded because
It's
I was
blurry
like,
for me. I can't really see it.
Is that better? I don't know.
Not yet. It's like
Hopefully
the
it'll be better.
camera quality doesn't want to catch up.
I'll bring it in sometime. You'll
There
see
we
it
go.
in person.
Ah,
Yeah. Okay.
Deal. How'd you get
And
a hold
then-
of it? They never released that version?
Yeah, so I got it off a guy on eBay. I knew it existed, and I love things that have cool stories or history to them. And I was like, that's got a really cool story. It's a really good talking piece for a collection. And so are these. So these are Game Factory cartridges. So there's a green one here, and then there's a blue one here. And what they were is Blockbuster had these cartridges. So let's say you went to Blockbuster and you wanted to rent The Lion King on Sega Genesis. Well, they're sold out of The Lion King. You can't get it. Oh, actually you can, because they can just upload the ROM onto this cartridge and you can take it home and play it. So it's basically
I've heard of
got
that.
any game.
Cool.
Yeah. It didn't work out very well. They tested it in a couple of different markets, and I think they scrapped the idea. So there's not many of these around. But the blue and green, they just have different amount of space on them for games, so one can hold more than the other. But yeah, that's
so
some
cool.
of the cool stuff. Yeah. Anyway, enough about me.
You would
Back to you
you
guys.
would mention
So
cool things and stories.
cool things and stories.
Yes. You'd mentioned the siphon filter got pulled off
Yeah,
the
yeah,
shelves because of 9/11.
yeah,
Our sewing machine, the one in box, was delivered
yeah.
the day after.
Okay. All
It
right.
still has the
Very
shipping
nice.
label still on it.
Yeah, it was shipped or sorry, delivered 9/12,
Delivered. Yeah.
2001. Yeah,
So
it's
that
crazy.
brings me to a good question too. I like to ask people, and this might be something you have to think about. Give me like your best gaming memory, okay? And I can tell you mine while I let you guys think. But I remember being like a teenager playing Resident Evil Code Veronica, and I don't know if you guys have ever played it, but there's a part where you're on the back of a plane, and the tyrant comes out, one of the bosses, and you basically have to attack him enough so that you can get him weakened and hit him with a box, and he flies out the back of the plane. Well, if you've ever played Resident Evil games, you know ammo is very important, and I had none. So I had to beat that part with a knife only, and I think I spent like maybe 6 or 7 days of playing it like 2 hours a day, and I finally ended up getting it beat, and it's one of the greatest video game moments in the history of me playing video games. Shepard, do you have any similar stories?
Yeah, I don't know if you know the game Viking.
No, tell me about that game.
It's kind of like your standard. It was like a story-based. I don't want to say RPG. I don't even remember all the details about the game. All I
Yeah.
know is that I had soft locked myself on the final boss because I didn't realize I was going up to the final boss. I had no resources, no healing, no nothing, and I was one hit and the fight would be over.
Yeah.
And I think I spent it was a week and a half perfecting the boss to be able to beat it because I refused to go back 3 hours to my last save point.
Yeah. Those are really fun moments when you think it's kind of like what you talked about Dark Souls. Like you think like there's no way you're ever going to beat it or you're never going to make, and then you do somehow magically.
If
So
it
that's
bleeds, it can die. I just got to
yeah,
get good
yeah.
enough.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Brad, any gaming memories? There we go.
Yeah, when I played, oh, what was it? Not Jedi Survivor, the Fallen Order.
Hmm.
I just remember the feeling of when you fight Vader at the end, and you physically can't defeat him. The goal is to run and escape, and him chasing you was actually kind of freaky at the time. Um, I just thought that was really cool how they just kind of made him kind of terrifying. He just followed you through that part of the level, and you had to run from Vader. I just thought that
So
was a lot of fun.
so did they make that explicitly known, or did you just try to defeat him a bunch of times and it just wasn't working? You're like, oh, maybe I'll try running, and then, or is it known that you have to run away from him?
I tried fighting him once and died, and then it kind of insinuated, "Hey, get out of here." So
Yeah.
you
Okay.
have to turn and run. If you turn around and look at him, he's like following you and getting closer to you, and
Okay.
he's tearing up the environment around you, and you just got to escape. So it's pretty
Very
cool.
nice. Very nice. Do you guys have any advice for people who want to get into collecting or even people who want to maybe start their own store?
For collecting, if you see something that keeps going up in value and you keep holding off on getting it, it's probably just going to keep getting more expensive. So if you want bad enough, just bite the bullet, depending on the item. If it's brand new, there's a chance it can go down. Um, any thoughts on collecting, Shep?
Not so much on collecting. It, like I said, I personally don't have a massive collection, so I don't have a lot of insight there. The one thing that I would say is just be sure that you're buying good stuff. People scam all the time, and sometimes people don't even know that they got scammed, and they're trying to sell it to the next person.
Yeah. That happened with GameStop. They were purchasing Pokemon games that were reproductions, and then they were selling them as real. And then, yeah, that was like a big issue that I know happened a few years ago. So,
I had a Donkey Kong 64 just a few months ago from GameStop that thankfully let me return it. There was no issues, but it got shipped to me, and it was a repro cartridge from the warehouse.
wow, yeah, it's kind of sad that people will go to those links. You know, it's okay if they do that and they say, "Hey, this is a reproduction cartridge," but there are people who say, "Oh no, it's the real thing," and that happens a lot. I don't know. Are you guys familiar with Whatnot at all? It's a
Yeah.
live auction
Yes.
website. Okay, so I'm a pretty fair guy, and sometimes people will show games on there. I'll say, "Oh, let me see the back of it," and someone will say, like, "Oh, what? You don't trust me?" I said, "Well, honestly, no, I don't know who you are, so let me see the back," and then they just like boot me from their stream and block me. And so it's just very there's a lot of sellers out there you have to be careful with. So
Unfortunately.
yeah, yeah. What do you guys think of the term that I've heard used as Frankensteining? So let's say you have, let's say you have Super Mario World, and then you find a box somewhere, and it's not the box that Super Mario World came in, and then a manual, and you put it together. If you had something like that, would you still charge full price? Or I guess a better example would be, let's say you have a PlayStation, and the serial numbers do not match the box to the PlayStation. Would you sell that as a complete in box or lower the price a little?
Pending the condition, I would sell it as complete in box. Usually if the collector is specific down to the UPC, they will ask and double check, and we will always open it and show everything to them as they're buying and be upfront with them that, hey, this is a box that has everything in it, including the console. It's not the original console that came in the box, but if you just want to look at a box on your shelf and it's in good shape, we're not going to round up to the highest possible dollar of what they can sell for, but we'll be right there in that fair average.
Yeah.
We do have some very high value collectors that come through every so often. They pretty much only collect complete in box or sealed, and from what I've seen, they are fine with Frankensteining stuff. They just want to have all the things that would have come.
Yeah. I think when it comes
But they
to
also will not purchase if it is missing any piece of cardboard or any piece of
Yeah.
advertisement that originally came in it.
Yeah. I think that the fact that we pay so much for cardboard is a little silly. I think cartridges are fine. It looks good on the shelf, but I don't think it's worth the price difference to get that. I don't like sealed games, but I have the Resident Evils that are sealed because that's my favorite game of all time, and it just holds a little bit of nostalgia for me to have that as a sealed game, sort of.
Yeah.
Honestly, we have for some of our Nintendo 64 games. I don't know the website, but one of the people that sold to us, they sold in like a repro shelf box.
They're called mini boxes for mini box gaming, I think. Miniboxgaming.com possibly.
Yep. I actually shout out to Minibox. I followed them on Instagram, so they are
I got a
So
few in
there's
my
them.
personal collection.
Yeah, and there's also Custom Game Cases is another company that makes theirs are a little more hefty. I have my Game Gear games all in cases from customgamecases.com. So what's the weirdest thing that's ever come into your store? So this doesn't necessarily mean it's the most expensive, but
Came in
maybe
today.
what's happening?
He just sent me a picture of it a little bit ago. We actually just posted it on our Instagram and Facebook.
Oh, wow.
That's
What am
probably
I
one of the
looking
weirder
at?
things. Good question. It's Kirby themed. I don't know what it's
Okay.
called. It's one of those little weird instrument things you squeeze and its mouth
Oh.
opens,
Okay,
but it's Kirby themed.
interesting.
What's it called, Shepard?
It is a automaton.
Oh yeah, Automaton. Okay, that's interesting. Any other weird stuff you guys have seen or stuff that's come through? Maybe it's not there now, but it's been there in the past.
The sewing machine.
Yes.
Yeah, there's definitely some weird stuff we come across from time to time. I'm not having anything come to my mind. What about you, Shepard?
I got up and rushed to my thing.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Do you guys see a lot of stuff that you've never seen before? Like something pops out, comes in, and you're like, man, I've never
Yeah.
even seen this.
Yeah, all the time. Like those NES games we showed you earlier, for example.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of high-end titles that's like, man, this is rare, and I haven't heard of it. It's just
Yeah.
obscure.
Yeah,
That's probably why it's worth so much.
the Dragon Fighter. I think we spent 30 minutes verifying that it was real.
Yeah, just
Just going over every detail. It was.
Do you have some sort of website you use to determine if things are real? Because I think a lot of people struggle with that when they go out to buy games, that they don't know if things are reproductions or not.
We'll just take the time doing some Google research. No specific site. Reddit comes up a lot. There's usually a lot of threads of people asking the same questions with some detailed photos listed that we can reference and then verify and compare. Have you seen any
There
specific
is a
websites?
website. I don't remember its name, but they do. It is for verifying fakes or not. I've used it 2 or 3 times now. They got pictures of the boards, both sides. They got zoom ins of all the things that are supposed to be where. That has been very helpful. That's what we used on the Dragon Fighter. I
Now
don't
there.
know its name. It just always comes up when I find it.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be interesting to know if anyone's watching in the comments and knows, list that in the comments below. But the that reminds me of a website. I had someone on the show previously. They own a website called Console Variations. And there's all basically any console that you can have. He's making a repertoire of every console that exists for every system, every variation, and just what it looks like and everything, which is kind of cool, kind of a cool website. So,
That is awesome.
yeah,
I thought of another weird one.
yeah,
It's for the original NES. It's an NBA game. We have the rare N7 initial variant of it, which has a white border, and it's like a really obscure version of it that was printed a little differently on the label, and it's like a $400 or $500 difference for like an $8 game.
okay. You
So
have that in the store?
Yeah, we have it in the store.
Where was it? I didn't see it.
It's sitting in the back room because I don't know if I want to put it
Oh,
on the shelf or put it on eBay, to be honest with you, because I know it's just going to sit.
I want to buy it. I might buy it.
I'll show it to you next time you're in there, man.
I like
very clean,
variations
too.
and stuff.
Yeah, it's authentic,
So
it's very clean, and it's rare.
I just learned there was
The
a
only other one.
yeah. Go ahead.
The only other one, I forget the name of it. It was that the Noah's Ark game or the Jesus game, whatever it was, in the blue cartridge.
Bible studies or
Bible
Yes.
Adventures.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's not expensive, but we've had a couple of different color variants of it.
Yeah, yeah. So I have a couple variants of there's a Wayne Gretzky hockey game for NES that has I think 3 different variants based on what color jersey that Wayne Gretzky's wearing on the front. And then there's also, let's see, what other variants do I have? There's another one I was going to mention. Oh, I don't have this one, but I learned of it. There's a volleyball game for NES, and when you put it into your NES, it plays Mario. And when you open it up and you look at the chip inside, it says volleyball on it. But for whatever reason, it runs Mario. And that's worth a few $100 as well.
Wow.
So,
Was that a known limited issue with that game, or is that just one you have?
so I don't know if this is true. I don't have that game, but the guy that explained it to me was that he basically the production line, the way they made these was like, let's make 10,000 Mario games and let's switch over and make the volleyball game, and they switched too late or something, and so a few hundred got out, something like that. But that's really cool. Yeah, I love cool stuff like that. So other than Resident Evil collecting, that's the kind of stuff I look for, is things that's rare, that has like unusual stories behind it, or errors. Were you going to say something, Shepard? You unmuted. I heard the sound of the air conditioner.
Yeah.
So I knew.
We had one. I don't know if it was an error from the warehouse or if somebody just did something funky and it made its way to us. We have a Nintendo 64 game that it's Star Wars, but the front of it is something entirely different.
I think it's opposite. The cover
Oh,
of
yeah,
Star
yeah,
Wars
yeah.
Shadows of the Empire. I can't remember what game's on it.
We have
think
it in
somebody-
the Retron.
It's sitting
don't we?
in the console, I think. Yeah, it's sitting in
Yeah.
the Tester 64 on the testing tower.
Have you opened it up to check the board and see if
It's
what's on
authentic.
that?
Yeah, it looks
Okay.
like somebody shell swapped a different board, or is a factory error. I don't really have a way to tell which
So-
was which
So
Yes,
that
it
was
was
actually
Shadows of the Empire.
okay.
in a different game place.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it's GoldenEye. No, the world is not enough.
The world's not
Yeah.
up.
Level 7, the
lesser of
world
the
is not
two.
enough.
Yeah, the lesser of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty common back in the days of Blockbuster. Actually, people would rent games, they would unscrew it, and then they would put a new board inside and return it. And that was why Blockbuster, if you ever get a game that has Blockbuster on stickers on it, has those huge stickers on the side to prevent people from opening those. So
Oh, that makes sense. Yep.
yeah, so that's another little video game fact. Shout out to Matty Newey. I learned that from him. I can't take ownership of that. But anything you guys want to add, or any last minute things you want to talk about?
Man, I can't think of anything other than,
Yeah.
hey, come see our new store. We do
Yeah.
have an event weekend this weekend. I don't know how quickly this video goes online, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday coming up.
Hopefully
Is that May
tonight.
1st is Friday? Okay, cool.
Yeah, if Dr.
Maybe-
Gamer Retro gets his act together, it'll be up tonight. But we'll see.
Awesome. Yeah, we have Smash Bros. Tournament Friday, $5 entry, but you win 75% of the pot if you're a winner. Guitar Hero, Clone Hero.
Or
the next
also
day.
giving away a controller, a Retro Fighter
Yes.
controller.
Yes, the winner also earns a free new controller for the Switch PC. And then Clone Hero Saturday, same thing, $5 entry, winner gets 75% of the pot. And then they get the chance to challenge me at the end, and if they win, they get $50 store credit. And then Sunday is just free to play Mario Kart.
So you don't participate in the tournament. You're only going to play the winner of the tournament, basically.
Yes, I'm the final boss. So
Final boss. Okay.
I know I'm good enough that, hey, it's just going to be a fun challenge for me. Hopefully somebody comes in good enough to beat me or give me a run for my money kind of thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's somebody local and I can find somebody I can play with from time to time. That'd be kind of fun.
Have
But
you ever met your match? Have you lost yet doing this?
yes, the last time when I lost I was the final boss, and I was using a guitar controller I never used before, and that was the one that needed the update that I didn't update.
Okay. Okay.
So I should have
Awesome.
used my custom one that I know is flawless.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on. You guys have some social media accounts. You have a website actually, right? So you
Yes,
have, is it
yes.
thecoopshop.com or what is the website?
Coopshop.net.
Yes.
Net. Okay. Okay.
Yes, and there's no dash in co-op. It's just the Coop Shop is what it looks
The
like.
Coop Shop. Okay. And then also Instagram you have as well.
Yes, we're most active on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay. Instagram and Facebook all under the Coop Shop, I assume.
Yeah, some of them I have an underscore between co-op, that kind of
Okay.
thing, because there's a lot of stores with co-op in the name that are like agriculture or shipping store spaces and stuff, which I didn't even know that was a thing. We just came up with
They
co-op.
should have
as
known that we
video
were going to
game
be a
store.
video game store.
Exactly, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
on them.
We were coming.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, no, I definitely appreciate you guys making time to be here. Shepard, what time's the store close tonight?
7.
7. Oh, okay, so closed already.
past it.
Perfect. Yeah,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
You're just
Well,
hanging out.
I was gonna say I appreciate you hanging out past the time. But yeah, again, thanks for being here, guys. Make sure you follow them on their social medias at the Coop Shop. There might be an underscore in there somewhere. If you follow
Look for
me,
the
you can
pug.
find mascot, right? That's the mascot.
Yep, his name's Coop.
Exactly, makes sense. Did you get him after the store or before the store?
He's based on my dog Heisenberg, who I have a pug in real life, and
Okay.
we just nicknamed him Coop because co-op without the dash is Coop.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Yeah, there's 2 mascots. There's the pug, and we got a cat, which is based off of my pet. And it's Coop and Shoop.
Yep.
Coop the
Okay.
co-op pug and Shoop the shop cat.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very
I didn't
nice.
know to shop.
Okay, very nice. Well, again, guys, thanks for coming here. Thanks for being on, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'm going to try to do more of these episodes. It's been a while since we've been consistent with this, but maybe not once a week, but hopefully a little bit more often than once a month. And hope you subscribe, follow, like, share, do all that, because I think this is really cool to see some of this cool stuff, to talk to people who do the collecting, do the selling, and get some more knowledge out there for collectors. So if you have any suggestions on people that can be in the show, let me know. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments. We always appreciate that. But again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much.
Take care.